Welcome to the University of Michigan Dentistry podcast series, promoting oral health care worldwide.
Dr. Wildanger, we're also very pleased that you were able to come down from Flint today to let us, here at the School of Dentistry of the University of Michigan, honor you on the occasion of your 100th birthday. As you know, the dental school is having its 100th birthday this year, and it's very fitting that you and the school celebrate together.
All right.
As to the best of our knowledge, you are our oldest living alumnus, and I'd like to give you this plaque to celebrate the occasion. It says, University of Michigan School of Dentistry, on this day, April 7, 1975, honors its oldest alumni, Dr. Albert J. Wildanger, class of 1897.
That's it.
Who was born April 11, 1875, the same year this school was established.
Yeah.
By bestowing upon him the honorary title of Dean for a Day. So we'd like you to take this and with our best wishes and congratulations on your long and wonderful life.
I certainly enjoyed this trip here. Can't imagine.
Sure.
I had such a wonderful driver.
Good. He's a good man.
He's a wonder.
Uh-huh. Well, we certainly appreciate you coming here today.
Well, he got me out.
This is Monday, April 7th, 1975, and we are celebrating the award that the school has given to Dr. Albert J. Wildanger, who was the school's oldest alumnus. Dr. Wildanger will be 100 years old Friday, April 11th. And that means that Dr. Wildanger was actually born a month before this school was founded in May of 1875. Dr. Wildanger received his entire education when the school was being led by the first dean, Dr. Jonathan Taft. At this time, I would like to talk with Dr. Wildanger and see if he remembers what the school was like and record any other comments that he might have at this time. Dr. Wildanger, what I have done before you came is went through our old photographs and so forth, and came up with some pictures that were taken.
Yeah.
Some of them that were taken when you were a student. They're dated 1897 and 96. So perhaps, you know, they will ring a bell. You'll remember some of the events. The first one I'd like to show you is a picture of one of your old professors.
Oh,
do you remember him?
What's his name?
That's Dr. Watling, Dr. John Watling.
Yeah.
He was one of the first professors. He was on the faculty of three, Dr. Taft,
That's quite a picture.
Dr. Watling, and Dr. Jackson.
Yeah.
And that's a picture that we have in our historical collections, and he taught in the clinic when you were a student. I thought you might remember him. Another one is a picture that we have of the dean of the school, Dr. Taft.
Oh.
Now, he looked something like that when you were a student, taken about the same time that you were here. Do you recall Dr. Taft? Do you remember, did he give lectures to you when you were in school, or didn't he teach very much?
He didn't teach very much. He was practicing dentistry around Cincinnati.
Was he? Yes, he was still in Cincinnati. He came back and forth.
Yeah. And
for a while, I think, looking back at the curriculum in those days, he lectured a little bit, but he did not teach in the clinic, as I understand it. But
he knew all about it.
He gave lectures and so forth. I have also a picture of your class. Now, you probably have one of these.
Oh,
do you remember?
Yeah, I've got a class. I've got it somewhere. Oh, yes, land. What do you know about that?
Can you remember some of your classmates?
Doctor who?
Can you remember some of your classmates?
Oh, yes. Good Lord. I should say I did. My, this is what do you know about that? Quite wonderful.
Do you still have your picture like this?
What's that?
Do you still have your own personal copy of this picture at home someplace?
Oh, yes.
Do you? Good.
I guess so.
Good.
I had everything.
Some of the faculty members are Dr. Watling, Dr. Hall.
Yeah.
Remember Louis P. Hall?
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Hoff.
Who?
Melville Hoff, H-O-F-F. Hoff.
Yeah.
He became dean a little bit later.
Yes. Yeah.
And the president of the university when you were here, Dr. Angel.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Hadel, although you told me before that they pronounced it Heidel. Dr. Heidel.
Yeah.
I pronounced it Hadel. Dr. Dorrance taught prosthetics, I believe. Dr. Dorrance. Dr. Novi taught bacteriology. Dr. Huber.
Well.
Dr. Gomberg
Yeah.
taught chemistry, organic chemistry.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember him. There are a couple of women in your class. Burr. June Burr, I think her name was.
What?
Burr, B-U-R-R. She was one of your classmates.
Oh, yeah. God, that's quite a picture.
Isn't that nice? I thought you would enjoy seeing that.
Yeah.
And then I've got a couple other ones here. You've just seen the new clinic, but we have a nice picture taken in 1897 showing the old clinic, and that's where you went to school.
Yeah. That's right.
Can you remember that wooden
Yeah.
clinic like that?
Mm-hmm.
I think you had gas lighting until your senior year. I think they put electric lights in your
Yeah,
last
that's
year.
right.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was just kind of a bulb that was on the end of a cord
Yeah.
you put in front of the patient.
Yes, sir. My, you get wonderful pictures. Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
Now, when we talked before a couple of years ago, you said, I played baseball in that field beside the school. Remember that?
Yeah.
And we have a picture here, and it shows 3 people out there playing baseball, you see, next to the building there?
Oh, yeah.
So that must have been where you played baseball.
They got me out there one day. They were having trouble. So they put me in for pitcher right on and I threw a couple of, broke it right through there.
Did you?
Yeah, I broke it. I didn't work. You got to work beforehand, you know, get yourself in shape. But they were so.
Did you get hit with a bat or hit with a ball?
What's that?
Did you get hit with a bat or a ball?
No, I didn't get with either one.
I see.
But to throw the ball, and bang, she went.
I see. I see. That kept you out of school for a while?
Huh?
Did that keep you out of school for a while?
Yeah, no. No. I went to work for B.F. Miller. He was a dentist.
Yes. I remember you mentioning him. You worked for him before you came to dental school.
Yeah.
Isn't that correct?
Mm-hmm.
When you were 15, 16, 17 years
That's
old?
right. He was a good thing for me that I did because he was an awful stringer. Everything had to be just so, you know, which is a good thing for me, it was. And
Well,
Was that me?
that's you. That's you. Put your hand up and you can see it.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the monitor. That's what we call the monitor. That lets the person that's being televised see what's being put on tape.
Yeah.
We actually record this, see, so we can play it back later. Here's a photograph that you saw a couple years ago. You may have forgotten it. That's the inside of the old library
Oh,
when
yeah.
you were in school.
Gosh, yes.
And over in the corner by the window is the librarian, Miss Hubbard.
Oh, my land. How things change.
Yeah. That's actually a nice photograph. This is a photograph of one of your teachers. Does that ring a bell at all? That was Dr. Hall, Louis Hall. And that was taken in 1897. So that's what he looked like when he taught in the clinic.
Yeah.
He taught here for many years.
I should say. Well, you sure got a lot of nice pictures.
Well, I thought that maybe you'd enjoy seeing them. Here's one of the custodian. Henry Perfield.
Oh, yes.
You remember Henry?
Yeah, I remember him.
All of the old alums remember Henry Perfield. I guess
Yeah.
he did everything. He dispensed the gold and
Wasn't anything he didn't do.
That's right.
He could do anything.
repaired equipment.
Yeah, he could do anything.
That's what I understand. There's a photograph showing the amphitheater where you had classes.
I should say. Happy days. I have a lot of pictures, but I haven't got any like these.
Well, you probably have some that we don't have. We don't have very many, actually. That's Dr. Watling in front of the,
Wanley?
that's Watling.
Oh, yes.
And he's lecturing. You see the teeth on the table there.
Yeah.
Big models of teeth. And that was taken in 1897. Probably not your class. It was probably the junior class. The class behind you. There's a nice picture of Dr. Watling in his office at the school.
Yeah, I should say so. That is a nice picture.
And there's a photograph of Dr. Hoff in his office in the dental school. And at that time, when you were a student, he was the secretary of the faculty, and he's the one that everybody applied to get into school.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's see, this is wonderful. Me.
And there's a photograph of the dean in his office in the dental school. That's Dr. Taft.
He was an old boy when I first seen him.
Was he?
Yeah, he was old. He come up from Cincinnati. He had some kind of a job down there, but what it was.
Well, I understand for a while he was actually dean of the school down there, the same time he was dean of this school
Yeah.
for a few years. And he also practiced down there. You're
Yeah.
correct about that.
Yeah, that's the.
And he wrote a textbook that everybody used.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. This is how you took a bath in 1897, because that's the date on that picture.
Well, that's pretty good.
And that's a dental student
Yeah.
taking a bath. I don't know how they took that. And here's a photograph of the inside of a student room about the same time that you went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Those are dental students, and the banjo there and electric lights. Did you play the banjo?
Yeah.
Did you? Mandolin?
Mandolin and that more. I played mandolin more than anything else.
Did you?
Yeah.
Was there Did they have a mandolin band at the school? Was it a group of people? You played by yourself? Mhm. Yeah. You mentioned before that you lived in the fraternity house when you were in school. Is that correct?
What's that?
You lived in a fraternity house here in Ann Arbor
Yeah.
when you were in school?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought you would enjoy seeing the photographs and a little bit of television.
There's the old man.
Yeah. There we are together. Yeah. Well, as I said before, they make television tapes of different procedures.
Oh,
see?
yeah.
And then they put them on tape, record them, and then play them back to the students. And then everything doesn't have to be demonstrated to each student that way, see?
Well, isn't that
So
nice?
that's very efficient, and we find that it's a good way to teach.
Well, I should say.
And this is the studio, and a couple of other rooms are where all the controls are, for the people that are recording this, what we're doing today. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yeah. Here's something you might want to see before we're just about done. You want to put it down, Marjorie? What do you think about this?
Well,
That should look familiar to you. Is that the kind that you remember using?
yeah.
Or
Oh,
did
yes.
yours have a cable?
Yeah.
They had two types that I can find out. They had the cable type and the all cord type. And you must have spent many hours pumping this foot power engine.
Yeah, we kids were kicking about everything.
Yeah. Well, I think they would today if they had to use them today too.
Yeah, I suppose.
But this is one that we have in our historical collections at school.
Yeah.
And I thought I would bring it up and
Well, that's
have you
fine.
take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
What else do they have? Do they have one? Can you bring that chest over? That's heavy. This is the last thing I'd like you to look at. Do you remember using something like that as a student?
Yes, we used to.
Every student
Yeah.
in those days bought a chest this size. And I can tell that from the old photographs.
Yeah.
They all had a table with one of these in front of them.
That's right.
And we have one in very good condition. This was used in 1902. One of the alumni brought it into us for historical.
Yeah.
It just had very simple drawers in it where the instruments were kept.
Well, what do you know about that? Yeah.
Now, these might not be all old instruments, but it was used at the school
Absolutely.
at that time. So you can recall using one of these.
Well, that's dandy. Sure.
And the price in those days was $12 for that kit.
Yeah,
I found that in a record someplace.
sure. But that, I used to think, my goodness, that's an awful price.
Well, in those days that was high.
In
I'm sure
those
it was.
days, you know.
Yes.
I see that.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
What's the old man trying to do there?
Television star. Well, let's get Dr. That's it, men in the control room. Let's get Dr. Wildanger unhooked, okay?
All right, fine.
So we can
Well,
get him off. Okay, fine.
You've been listening to a presentation from the University of Michigan School of Dentistry, which is dedicated to supporting open learning and open educational resources. This recording is licensed under the Creative Commons. It may be reused and redistributed for nonprofit use. Please attribute materials to the University of Michigan School of Dentistry and redistribute under this same license. For more information on how this and other University of Michigan School of Dentistry recordings may be used, visit www.dent.umich.edu/license.